Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is that time of year to once again start talking about the Oscars. The Oscars this year is going to be on Sunday, March 27th, right around the corner, just a little bit over a month away. So, of course, that means we now have the official nominations for the Oscars. And this is always a big thing. Obviously, it's big actually finding out who wins and seeing the ceremonies, but it's always fun to take a look at who's nominated and predict like, oh, who's gonna win, who should win, all that stuff. It's a fun game to play. Honestly, I'm not huge into the Oscars or really award shows in general. I honestly don't think I've ever actually, I've watched parts of the Oscars and like parts of award shows, but I don't think I've ever watched like the full thing before, and I'm not even completely sure if I will watch the Oscars this year. But I am interested to definitely find out who wins. But like I said, this is a big thing when the Oscar noms come out, so I definitely wanted to make a video and talk about them. I wanted to have this video out yesterday, but I was just so busy, I didn't have time. But yeah, so we're going to be going over the official Oscar nomination. We're not going to go over everything, pretty much just the big stuff and really the ones that I actually kind of care about. And you can let me know your own thoughts on this in the comments below and your own predictions of who you think is going to win, who should win, all that good stuff. So anyways, guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's jump into this with nominees for film editing. We have Don't Look Up, Dune, King Richard, The Power of the Dog, and Tick, Tick, Boom. Now, most of these movies I have not seen yet. Tick, Tick, Boom is the only movie here that I have seen. Absolutely love that movie. It's just a masterpiece. So, I mean, it is kind of an unfair bias to say that I want that to win. But at the same time, I really did like the editing of that film, specifically like the transitions they had between the actual music and the songs and like the non-music. Also the background ticking of the actual ticking of like time going by. That was great. I really enjoyed the editing of that film. So again, this is the only movie here I've actually seen. I really want to see the other ones. I just don't have time. Access and all that stuff. So definitely want to check out the other movies. And again, I don't know what their editing was like. But then we also have nominees for visual effects. This is a big one right here. So we have Dune, Free Guy, No Time to Die, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and Spider-Man No Way Home. Surprisingly, the only nomination for Spider-Man No Way Home. And I honestly feel like Spider-Man No Way Home probably will win this, just given the fact that first of all, there's a lot of visual effects in that movie. I mean, you have, well, literally some of the characters in that movie are completely CGI, like specifically like Lizard and Sandman. And there's like a lot of CGI going on in the movie, and it honestly looks fairly good. These other ones, there's some decent contenders here, like Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings. Like the visual effects on that dragon, the Great Protector, that was amazing. Plus when they were actually using the Ten Rings. Dune, still haven't seen that. I really want to, but just based on the trailers, like the sandworms and stuff, that looks like that has some great visual effects. Free Guy had some great visual effects as well, and actually had some great visual effects components to that movie, so I wouldn't be surprised there. But definitely I feel like Spider-Man No Way Home probably has the best chance of winning, but possibly Dune and Shang-Chi are like close runners up there. Then we have nominees for makeup and hairstyling. So we have Coming to America, Cruella, Dune, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and House of Gucci. Now, one thing here that I am a little disappointed in that I really didn't think about until somebody pointed out on Twitter, but you know what should have gotten a nomination is the Suicide Squad. I mean, just look at this. Specifically, the makeup for Polka Dot Man, like that is just great. Like that totally should have gotten a nomination at least. I don't know if it would have won. Possibly even a nomination for costumes as well. But for what we do have here, I saw Cruella. Other movies I didn't see yet. Again, I'd like to. But yeah, I'd honestly say Cruella has a pretty decent shot here. I mean, the makeup and hairstyling in the movie was amazing, specifically for Cruella herself. But also I've heard that and seen that The Eyes of Tammy Faye, that there's some good stuff going on there. So I'd say that those are my top two picks there. We'll see where that goes. Nominees for animated feature film, we have Encanto, Flea, Luca, The Mitchells versus the Machines, and Raya and the Last Dragon. I'd say probably Encanto has the best shot of winning here. Disney like always wins best animated feature film at the Oscars, so I would not at all be surprised, especially with the recent buzz and hype around that movie and its music. But I have heard that it's pretty likely Flea could win as well, so definitely going to be a toss-up there, but I'm excited to see who wins. Then we have nominees for costume design, another one that the Suicide Squad totally could have been nominated for. We have Cruella once again, Cyrano, Dune, Nightmare Alley, and West Side Story. This one, I feel like Cruella has a really good shot at this, not only because of like the crazy dresses and outfits that Cruella herself wore in that movie, especially given the fact that, you know, the movie actually is based and actually focuses on like the fashion industry. Also, it's a period piece, so I feel like they did really well on the costume design for that film. But Dune had some good stuff as well. I've seen some good stuff from Nightmare Alley, West Side Story, again another kind of time period piece, so there's some good contenders here for costume design. Then we have original score for Don't Look Up, Dune, Encanto, Parallel Mothers, and The Power of the Dog. I'd say Dune probably has the best shot of winning here because, I mean, it's Hans Zimmerman. I mean, Hans Zimmerman and his scores are just beautiful masterpieces. I love his work. So, and he's no stranger to the Oscars, so I definitely would not at all be surprised if he ends up winning this. I'd say he probably is the best shot there, and it's probably my pick for best original score. But now, guys, let's get into the big ones here, like the nominees for directing. We have Belfast with Kenneth Branagh, Risuke Hamaguchi for Drive My Car, Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza, Jane Campion for The Power of the Dog, and Steven Spielberg for West Side Story. Now, of course, the big thing that everybody's talking about here is the snub of Denis Villeneuve for Dune, and I actually was super surprised as well that he was not nominated. I mean, I don't know if he would have won, but it's weird that he at least wasn't nominated, though. I mean, Dune got a bunch of other nominations, but it's weird that they didn't nominate the director, because I feel like, you know, Denis Villeneuve would have actually done pretty well in this category. But from what we do have here, I haven't seen any of these movies, so I don't really know what's going to win. I doubt West Side Story would, just considering like Steven Spielberg already has so much recognition, so many Oscars and stuff, so I don't know if they'd give that to him. Also, considering that it's a remake of West Side Story. So we'll see how the directing turns out. But the big ones that we are all talking about is the acting categories. So nominees for actress in a supporting role, we have Jessie Buckley, Ariana DeBose, Judi Dench, Kirsten Dunst, and Anna... Oh, God. I can't even pronounce that. Yeah, that's her name for King Richard. I haven't seen any of these movies either, but I know Kirsten Dunst is a pretty good actress, Judi Dench as well, but I've heard that it's likely that Ingenue Ellis for King Richard, which I've heard great things about that movie. Then we have nominees for actor in a supporting role. We have Ciarán Hinds for Belfast, Troy Kotsur for Coda, Jesse Plemons for The Power of the Dog, J.K. Simmons for Being the Ricardos, and Cody Smith-McPhee for The Power of the Dog. The Power of the Dog definitely has some huge nominations here. I've heard a lot of people really don't like that movie, but apparently it's getting a lot of awards and recognition here, so I guess I'll have to check it out at some point. Plus, it's Benedict Cumberbatch. He's pretty cool. So, again, I haven't seen any of these movies, have no idea. I know J.K. Simmons is a great actor. I don't know any of these other actors, but... So there's that. Then we have nominees for actress in a leading role. We have Jessica Chastain, Olivia Colman, Penelope Cruz, Nicole Kidman, and Kristen Stewart. Kristen Stewart was a big surprise here. Also, there was a snub for Lady Gaga for House of Gucci. But at the same time, I'm also really not that surprised that she didn't get nominated. But from what we do have here, again, I haven't seen any of these movies, but I've heard that, you know, Nicole Kidman from Being the Ricardos, that's looking pretty likely for her. And then the big one I am most excited for is nominees for actor in a leading role. We have Javier Bardem for Being the Ricardos, Benedict Cumberbatch for The Power of the Dog, Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom, Will Smith for King Richard, and Denzel Washington for The Tragedy of Macbeth. Now, who's going to win? I'd say most likely it is going to be Will Smith, just because he's been in the business for so long, and like he's been nominated so many times that his role as King Richard really was so amazing, and he was so perfect for that role that it's about time. It's Will Smith's time to finally win an Oscar. But if he doesn't win, I really want Andrew Garfield, because I love Tick Tick Boom. I love Andrew Garfield not only as an actor but as a person. So to see him win this would just be amazing. His work in that film was just so good. So I would love for that to happen. But hey, then again, you got Benedict Cumberbatch here. Of course, he's an amazing actor, and The Power of the Dog got all these other nominations and won in all these other award shows. So I don't know. There's definitely, again, a toss-up here. There's a lot of possibilities, but I feel like Will Smith probably will win this, but I'm hoping for maybe a little Andrew Garfield in there. I'd really appreciate that. But then finally we have nominees for Best Picture. This is, of course, the big one. We have Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. There's a couple snubs here, like, for example, a lot of people wondering why Spider-Man No Way Home wasn't in here, just given that, you know, it basically like revived movie theaters and stuff. And you know, I would have liked to have seen it nominated. There's no way it would have actually won, because it's really not like looking at it from a creative perspective, like from the Academy's perspective, it's definitely not an Oscar winning movie. But I am a little surprised it wasn't at least nominated. And then the other one that was a little surprising is Tick Tick Boom. That was another amazing movie that totally should have been nominated, but for some reason it was not. And from what's left here, I'd say Dune probably has a fairly good chance of winning. But then again, it's mixed. It could be for West Side Story, maybe The Power of the Dog, maybe a little Licorice Pizza, King Richard in here. There's so many possibilities with the Oscars. You never know. There's always upsets and surprises and, you know, all that crazy stuff going on by. But guys, that is my thoughts on the Oscar nominations, at least the big ones that I actually care about. I know I'm not an expert when it comes to this kind of stuff, especially since it's pretty clear I haven't seen most of these movies. But hey, I still figured I'd talk about it. And again, you can let me know your own thoughts on these nominations in the comments below, your own predictions of who you think is going to win. So let me know all of that in the comments below. But for now, guys, stay tuned. I might do a video talking about the winners. Again, the Oscars are going to be on Sunday, March 27th. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I can keep you up to date on everything that goes on in the movie life.